Hi, my name is Courtney Cytryn, and I'm on the multi-asset sales desk at Goldman Sachs. My journey in finance started early on when I was in college, double majoring in economics and international relations. I went on a Wall Street experience trip through my school for 3 days during winter break, where I met with various alums of banks and financial services companies. It was during this 3-day trip where I really realized the power in your network. After graduation, I started at Bloomberg as an M&A analyst within global data. This was a great introduction to the equities market, where I was analyzing M&A transactions, IPO deals, private equity, as well as venture capital. I then had moved on after 4 years to a bank. I was now advising clients on the equity market in an equity sales capacity. This was an Australian bank where they had presence in New York. As an equity research salesperson, I was meeting with clients very daily, hedge funds, mutual funds, pension funds, to name a few, and pitching stock ideas to them daily in various sectors and regions. We also were very salesy. So we would entertain clients very daily. We would introduce our clients to public C-suite executives. So for example, if we were doing a roadshow with Ralph Lauren, we would invite the CFO to meet with some holders of the stock. So for example, these public companies are listed on a New York Stock Exchange, and there are holders of the name that we would cover. In addition, the fun part was the equity capital markets calendar. So when these companies want to go public, that is something this team that I was on would help advertise to our clients to see if they would want to participate in the offering. After about a year and a half, 2 years, I then joined Goldman Sachs in February 2020, right before the pandemic. I joined a multi-asset sales desk that covers both equities and fixed income products. We're a 50-man person team here in New York, and we also have a team in London. We think about our clients holistically, and a lot of our clients are co-covered by both the equity and fixed income platforms. So in my seat today, I actually focus on all new business for the multi-asset sales desk. This is such a rewarding seat, so I'm, really thankful for the opportunity. I basically am finding new prospects or new clients for the multi-asset sales desk. So what this means is I'm constantly reading about new launches. I'm understanding market trends to identify, certain gaps where Goldman can step in and be first to that client segment. My day-to-day is a lot of prospecting calls. So if I found, a hedge fund that is uncovered by the GMD department, which stands for the Global Markets Department, that is some type of business I would want to look into and tackle. So I have a lot of introduction calls and Zooms and in-person meetings where, I'm really understanding who, this hedge fund is, how big they are, the strategy they run, how they're covered on the street, and trying to win that business to see if they would want a relationship with Goldman Sachs. Another big piece of my job is thinking creatively and out of the box around, how we can tackle new business and new client types. So for example, we've really seen a lot of private equity firms actually interested in our products. So for example, we have a great non-ECM block product. And what that means is if there is a firm that wants to sell out of a public position and they need help facilitating that, that's something that Goldman can do. Some private equity firms have public positions, so they've come to us, and historically that wasn't really the case. We never really covered private equity firms within this team. So it's an area where there's a lot of ground, and I'm tackling that today. the key elements of my role is really to identify new opportunities. Number 2, think creatively of how we can position ourselves, this team, to push that needle forward. And 3 is really to build internal relationships. One piece of advice that my managing director that actually hired me gave me was to really brand yourself. Really understand how you can be visible to the greater franchise. This is a large bank. How can you brand yourself? How can you identify and present these ideas to the global franchise? So I would ask you to think about, when you do start looking for a new position, or when you are, digging into the day-to-day at some of these firms, figure out how you can add value differently. So when I talked about, expanding the private equity segment here at Goldman, that's, an area where I really tried to, own that and, make that my little niche. In addition to building your brand and positioning yourself in your seat, I would also advise staying in touch with your network and really building your network. So setting up a LinkedIn account, setting up coffee monthly chats, emailing your network, these are critical to your career. So what I would advise is set up a LinkedIn, set up monthly coffee chats with, part of your network and really get connected. I'm also a part of the Women's Network here. I'm on the steering committee for the client engagement pillar. I would say try to get involved. Wherever you end up, try to do something within the community, get involved with a women's network where you can build other relationships aside from your professional relationships you might have on your team. This will also expand your network, and I really suggest getting involved. These are big banks and big organizations. You really can start to think about how you want to brand yourself through your involvement as well.